Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Terry for kind of inviting me here, and Basilius for putting this on and having me here as well. I am not a specialist in social work. I am keenly aware that I am an archaeologist speaking to a crowd of people who know much more about this topic. So I want to thank you all for putting up with me and for educating me on this topic. It's been extremely helpful for me to walk in. And I would kind of ask for your indulgence as well, because you're going to see that this is really more of a plea than a presentation. I need help, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a moment. My name is Humphreys. I'm a second-year PhD student in the archaeology department here at Durham. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Operation Nightingale USA. That's a very kind of pretentious title. No one in my organization gets paid, so we give each other a new title every week or so. I think next week I'll be up to president. Won't make any difference whatsoever. So this is what I'm going to more or less talk about. I want to start off with sort of another personal anecdote, again echoing those who have gone before me, about my time in the military, because I was a captain in the American Air Force as well. Our experiences in the military differ just a little bit. In the American model, the role of the officer is very much to take care of the troops. We put the troops first. It's the sergeants that get the job done. The sergeants accomplish the mission. So what I was taught throughout my training, which I began when I was 16 years ago, what I was taught throughout my training was that those troops came first. No matter what, I had to take care of those troops, and they would accomplish that mission, and that's still what I'm doing now. When I deployed, like Terry was saying, we kept a kill counter on my board every day of how many individuals my jets had assisted in killing that day. When I left, my kill counter said 137. Okay, all 137 of those people weigh on my conscience every single day. Those deaths weigh on the consciences of my troops as well. So you have to realize that I didn't sign up in the military, and neither did my troops, to be involved in some way in the deaths of all those individuals that we never even got the chance to meet. Okay, only 20% of the American military is actually the tip of the spear. Those are the people that are actually firing the weapons. I was in that other 80%, but I'm still affected by those lives that I helped to take, and so are my troops. So this organization is in part developed to help those people who have put their weapons down and are looking at how to get past what they have done in the military, intentionally or not, if that makes sense. I would also add that since I don't actually know what I'm talking about from a social work perspective, please do raise your hands and ask questions or give voice complaints if you would like to, or tell me areas that I can improve as I go along. I realize that, again, as an officer with a PowerPoint backing me up, I tend to speak very authoritatively, but I would like you to kind of give input as I'm speaking. Yeah, it's the PowerPoint that really tends to make people be quiet. If I didn't have a PowerPoint, I wouldn't even be able to speak. That's how it works here. So, the individuals, by the way, in the slideshow, I am going to name them. They give me consent to speak about them personally and talk about their issues. Truth is, they like the attention. I think it'll give you an idea of the population that Operation Nightingale works with when I say that this is Patrick Provis. Patrick was injured by an IED in Ireland in a conflict over there. He's a British soldier from Wales. He calls himself the Master of Unarmed Combat. So you can see right there, this is kind of that mindset that our troops are going to have, that our participants are going to have. What we do is we dig very high quality holes by using American and British veterans in order to rehabilitate them. Our project is based upon the British Operation Nightingale. Some of you may have heard about that already. They've been around since 2012. I'll talk about them a little more here in just a moment. So I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about the American program and how we have built off of the British program, because we were only just really developed within the last year or so. And then I'm going to talk about the areas that I'm having problems with and ask you how I should address those issues. Because again, I am an archaeologist and not a social worker, and I'm keenly aware that it's the medical and the care component of my program and of the British program that are missing and that we need help with. Right now we're digging these excellent high quality holes, but what does that really do for our people? They have a good time when they're out there, but what's that do for them when they actually go home? What's the long-term impact? So this is what Operation Nightingale has been able to accomplish since 2012. They've been on Time Team. They've been on the cover of Current Archaeology. By the way, the previous presentation I've given, I talked about current archaeology quite a bit. That's the only issue of current archaeology that actually has a person on the front. So people are interested in this topic, and they're interested in the people that are doing archaeology, which is a bit different in my field. So, in any case, they do have a strong reputation, and they've earned it. Okay, a lot of what I'm going to say may come across as a critique of the British Operation Nightingale, and that's not my intent. They've done a lot of good for a lot of people. What I want from you is help standing up the American program that addresses our unique concerns and also builds upon the success that Operation Nightingale has already had. So this is the American program. You can read our goals up there. Basically, to summarize this, our goals are two-pronged. We want to take care of the short and long-term welfare of our participants. That means professional welfare, so we want to be sure that they get jobs if they need jobs. We also want to take care of their mental welfare. So again, we don't want them to come out on a dig, have a great time, kind of like summer camp, go back home and immediately have that down feeling. That happens to a lot of non-veterans, by the way, when they come out on these digs. They come out, they have a great time, they go back home, and all of a sudden they're alone again. They've had this amazing time with all their buddies, they've made a lot of new friends, and now all that stuff's over, and they kind of go into a downward spiral. When you have someone that has some sort of trauma or some sort of dependency issue, and they hit that, that can be disastrous. So we're really trying to look at how to actually manage their long-term welfare. Job market for archaeologists is limited. That's probably an optimistic assessment of how many jobs are out there. So we absolutely do not want to tell all the people that are coming on our program that we're going to turn them into archaeologists. What we want to do is get them, frankly, off the couch. We want to get them away from the video games that have taken up a lot of their lives since they've gotten out of the military. And we want to give them hope and motivation again, just like they had when they came out of basic training. I'm also aware that I'm running out of time a bit. So this is what we're doing this year with the American program. We are a registered, licensed American corporation, charity organization at this point as of February 10th of this year. We have 2 digs going on in the UK for various reasons. This is the first one. If you'd like, any of you are welcome to come out there and see what we're doing. This is Malton. You can see, I'll point at it. If you go out to Malton, this is kind of the dog park in the middle of the town, by the way. And this is a Roman fort. You can't really see the outline all that well, but you can if you actually look on the ground. So we're going to go out there and dig that. That's a large 15 by 15 trench. What you're going to see happen in that trench is a lot of veterans, in this case non-American, one Israeli, are going to go out and they're going to bond over 3 weeks in that trench. The inclusion of that Israeli veteran is significant because we have other veterans from other countries reaching out to us already as subject matter experts, which is doubtful in my opinion. But they want to put these programs in place elsewhere. So again, we're trying to set the tone so that we can export it to these other groups that are already interested and that we've already connected with. Our second dig is going to occur at Marne later in the summer. This one we're actually going to try to take people who need a little bit more help than on the first dig. The first dig is really aimed more at building our sort of mid-level supervisory positions. This one we're actually going to take people that need our help and put them on the ground for 4 weeks. We're also going to try to offer a course from Durham at this school, or at this excavation, that does focus on those kind of technical skills that they can come back to the United States with and get course credit for. So this is really the gist of what I want to get at and what I hope you'll have some thoughts on. The Nightingale model, it's really the main issue here is right there in the middle. The research for the Nightingale model has been based at justifying the existence of the program. What I would like to do is take qualified professionals, such as many of the people in this room, put them on those digs and see how those professionals perceive what we're doing and how they would change things that we're doing that we take for granted in the archaeological community in order to better benefit our participants. Okay? Right now, essentially, you would say the tail is wagging the dog, I think. We have 1 or 2 studies that are based on, I'll tell you, 14 veterans, which I think is not nearly enough to actually inform a study, although again, not a social worker. But 14 veterans have basically told us that they enjoy being outdoors and they enjoy building this community, and that's what we're touting as success for this program. I think we have a lot of work to do in terms of actually demonstrating how beneficial this is and what we can do to get better. The Nightingale model is highly sort of dependent upon actually demonstrating that people are getting jobs. I don't think that's the whole story. And dependency is a major issue, and this is one thing we're really trying to get away from in the American program. I think these statements at the bottom are terrifying. When people are saying this is all they have to look forward to in their lives, there are far too many applicants for far too few slots, which is down due to cost, for these excavations. I've already experienced people that have gone on 1 or 2 excavations, made a lot of friends. They're looking toward the next excavation that's coming up, then they don't get on the next excavation. then they're just sitting in their homes for 6 months without anything to do. What happens to that person? They've just fallen through the cracks, and we've let them down. So that is a real issue that we have to face, and the bottom line is this archaeology program or a therapy program, I should say right now, it's being treated and run purely by archaeologists such as myself who have no background in this kind of treatment. So I would very much ask, if anyone is interested, please get in contact with me, and I would like to speak to you about incorporation. Thank you very much for your time.